Kids leave the 8th grade, they can approach an adult about a concern. They can ask for assistance that they may need in class. They can check their own grades online. And they can organize their time to maximize their academic performance. We have a very committed staff who cares deeply about their students and their future success. Although they will be focusing primarily on the learning of content and skills, they will also be demanding students to become responsible teenagers. We will need your help in achieving this goal. Through the monitoring of your child's your child's grades, being certain that your son or daughter is in school each and every day, and requesting information from the staff about your child's progress. As 8th graders, these children will be ready for high school. Additionally, I highly encourage you to get involved. Join the PTSA. Attend an SBDM meeting, or request to be on one of our standing committees. If at any time over the next 3 years you have a question or a concern, do not hesitate to contact me by phone or by email. Thank you. I'll now turn it over to Mrs. Roberts, our first presenter.
I'm Mrs. Roberts. I'm the assistant principal. I have the longest list of things to discuss tonight. First thing on your list is dress code. The dress code changes from elementary school to middle school. First thing you need to know, no shorts. We do have special days when they can wear shorts, but for the most part, although the gym doesn't exhibit that, the building is air conditioned and shorts are actually not going to be very comfortable for them during the summer months. The dress code also has a lot of limited things, and the issues that we have more often than not are not necessarily for 6th graders, but plunging necklines, holes in your pants. And I know as you go shopping this summer, you're going to say it's very difficult to find a pair of pants that do not have holes in them. But we would ask that if you purchase pants, that the holes not occur above the knees. Also, short skirts, we don't want them over 1 inch above the knee. So it's pretty much we want the skirts longer. And this is all to more or less prevent embarrassment. Because if the skirt is too short, they're not going to be thinking about it. You may be with them and you'll think about it, but they won't think about it. And embarrassing things that could follow them for a lifetime may happen. Same with sweatpants, yoga pants. We don't allow sweatpants and yoga pants because in the same way that they are comfortable and your son or daughter might follow the rules with those things, there are a lot of people who might like to come up behind them and yank those things off. Not a good experience. And obviously, there would be disciplinary consequences for that, but you don't want your son or daughter to be the person that happens to. Bus pickup, bus and bus drop-off. I know this is an anxiety portion because the elementary schools, you ride your own buses, you don't have to deal with middle school or high school kids. So your middle school student will be riding a bus with a high school student. When the buses arrive, they arrive in the back lobby. There are sets of rules and regulations for the buses. If you have issues going on the bus, please contact myself, Mr. Novak, or the bus garage. In general, you contact the bus garage first with issues going on the bus, and then if something doesn't occur, then you contact us, especially like with bullying situations that might occur on the bus. If you are picking up your child or dropping off your child, that we write a note, we will release them when we release our walkers, and we monitor that parking lot, but essentially your child will have to come and find you. During the afternoon, if you're going to pick them up, we ask that you actually park in a parking spot if you arrive, and then we will release you, in a line to leave. We also ask that when you leave the parking lot, you always turn right until a certain point in time. Attendance. Attendance is probably one of the most important things that will follow your child through a lifetime and cause them fewer challenges, if you will. We expect your child to be here every day unless there is some type of a family emergency or if there is illness. You receive 8 parent notes per year to utilize as you see fit. So a lot of times I hear parents say, well, I called the doctor, he said not to bring her in, she has a stomach virus. It just has to run its course. So you can use a parent note for those events and not have to see the doctor. After you use a parent note on 8 different occasions, then you have to see a doctor. Because we want to see your child here all day, every day. Discipline policies. The discipline policies are those by the Boone County Board of Education, but they are also a little bit different from school to school. For example, our dress code moves beyond board policy. SBDMs in school systems have a great deal of control over the discipline in the school system. So our discipline policies, the main discipline policies will be in your child's agenda. You will receive the Boone County Discipline Code, and you'll be able to take a look at that and all the tier level offenses. We have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 on the Boone County Board of Education level. And we follow that discipline policy along with, and this is at the end of my chapter, along with our PBIS intervention. PBIS is positive behavior intervention. It's a positive behavior intervention system. And with PBIS, we have a systematic way that we go about helping students with their behavior. If there are issues, we're hoping that there are none. I would love next year never to see a discipline referral. That would be the greatest year ever. Immunizations. If you look in this particular item that we gave you, it's on the 4th page. It says, please read important information from the health clerk. That's a lot of stuff to read, but please take the time to read it. One of the things that's important is the first day that your child starts school, he or she must have an immunization certificate that is current. About a month before school starts, our health clerk and our school nurse will mail out a letter if you are not current with your immunizations, and they will say, dear Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, Sally needs the following immunizations in order to start school on August 13th. And it's your responsibility as the parent to make sure that you get to your physician or you get to the local health department to make sure that that happens. They also have to have a school physical before the beginning of 6th grade. If you are a parent whose child is going to participate in athletics, my suggestion is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Take your child in for that physical and tell them you also want a sports physical, because they have to do a few extra things if your child wants to participate in any of the sporting type extracurricular activities. Lunch. Lunch is their favorite time of day. 6th graders only eat with 6th graders. They will come to lunch. They have last lunch at this point, but we're going to start trading that around year by year. But for next year, they will eat during the 3rd lunch. You are welcome to let them bring their lunch if they don't like school lunches. We have pretty much 4 different lines for them to choose from. They can choose from your normal school lunch. They have a Southwest menu. We have sandwiches, and we have a salad. So that gives them a lot of opportunities for a lot of choice. is a time when we expect them to also be safe, responsible, and respectful. If they make a mess at lunchtime, we ask that they clean it up. Obviously, we have custodians and we'll help them with that. But I'm pretty sure that if they drop something on your floor at home, you expect them to pick it up. And it's the same here. We would expect those same types of responsibilities from your son or daughter. Technology. Now this one changed at Gray over the past year with the district. It's called the BYOD, Bring Your Own Device. So as far as your children, I know everybody in this room has access, most of you have access to a cell phone or to an iPad of some sort. And obviously the public school system, we want to encourage use of this type of technology. However, there are lots of issues that we have to deal with in the public school system with that type of technology. Some of them not so nice. And some of them as far as cheating is concerned. So, when your child brings their cell phone to school, we ask that at 7:35 they turn it off. Then, if a teacher asks that they get their cell phone out for a school activity or for a project, then they can turn the phone on, and then again turn it off. They have to be supervised by an adult to use that cell phone or to use that iPad if you're at school. In thinking about that, that is one of I just took a look at our Swiss data today, which is pretty much our discipline data. Most of our referrals occur in classrooms, and a lot of those referrals have to do with what we call technology violations, where we catch kids maybe texting you during a class when they shouldn't be, or texting somebody, or texting another student. If they're caught with that phone on, they're going to get their phone confiscated. The first time we're going to take it, and we're going to return it to you, either that day or the day after. The second time that we confiscate their phone, we're going to keep it for a week, and then return it to you. If it's confiscated a third time, we keep it the rest of the year. So, please make sure that they understand that when they're out and about, we obviously want them, to have access to their cell phones. In an emergency situation here at school, obviously, we would want them to have access to their cell phones. But from a day-to-day basis, walking around in the hallway, texting their friends, they can't have access to their cell phones. They can't have access. They can't even, in a lot of cases, we go in the bathroom during lunch and we see people texting in the bathroom. So we confiscate those phones. So help them understand what that particular discipline policy is all about. Okay, and PBIS, I mentioned it briefly. PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention Strategies. We have a PBIS team. We are a recognized PBIS school. PBIS offers a teaching of our discipline policies the first 10 days that they are here. During advisory, we will talk to them about many of the things that I'm talking to you about. We'll talk to them about behavioral expectations in the classroom, in the cafeteria, in the gymnasium, in the hallway, in the library, across the school. And we'll try to, and what we would like for you to do as parents is to be involved in that process and help to strengthen their understanding of what we expect from them day to day. We also have a reward system with PBIS. Our teachers give them gators when they recognize them being safe, responsible, and